Invariably, there is the economic.
All right. Sorry, I was just logging into the chat on YouTube, and my speakers were up a little too loud. So welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Monday night YouTube, as well as Facebook, Periscope, /Twitter, and Twitch, no less. So, anyway, every Monday night, we're live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Our primary goal is to discuss the weekly watch list. And remember, the goal is to start the week out, kind of breaking down trades that many of you can look to swing trade. And normally we kind of have. Normally the watch list is probably like 3 or 4 more swing trade type ideas. And what's the why? I always like to give the why. Why do you put out a swing trade watch list? Well, I mean, it's weekly. It comes out on the weekend, and I want to give you something that you can look to quote unquote use all week. So what I'm looking for is trades that are, they could be setting up maybe today. A couple of them worked. Maybe later in the week, maybe end of the week, etc. So that's kind of the goal with the watch list. And, Monday night we're here to kind of break them down, discuss them, see which ones did or didn't work. Listen, no watch list is going to be 5 for 5. But what we're looking for is, okay, if it didn't work, why didn't it work? Or if it hasn't moved yet, can it still move, the rest of the week? So anyway, just to everyone, again, if you're out there on Facebook, if you're out there on Periscope, I'm working with the team. This is just the second week of going live on all these networks. So for tonight, I'm going to be looking at the YouTube chat and only the YouTube chat. Now, my friends on Facebook and on Twitter and on Periscope and on Twitch, I love you. But just so you guys know, this is something new. And what I'm probably going to do is have a member of the team. So, I mean, we've got Stocks and Trades, a huge team. We've got a bunch of great people here. So probably what we're going to do is, I hope next week, don't hold me to that, I hope, but whether it be next week or the week after, but sometime soon, I'm going to have a team member with me on these live streams watching all the other channels. So we've been doing the YouTube lives for, I think almost, anybody know? How long have I been doing YouTube Live on Monday night? 2 years? Maybe 2 years? So I'm favoring my old school YouTube peeps when it comes to Q&A and questions. But if you're out there on Periscope or Facebook, give me some time. But I'm going to have a team member basically moderate questions from everywhere. So, all right, let's get to work, my friends. Number 1, MVIS. MVIS was probably what I would call the top VWAP hold high a daybreak. Now, I'll get to the watch list, but I want to talk about MVIS mainly because it literally pinned the high of the day at the 8 p.m. after hours close. Love that. Now, there's a lot to like about MVIS, but I have to admit, all day I was kind of an MVIS hater. Because while the recipe is there, geez, the volume. I know I talk about this a lot on these webinars. I mean, if you're new, if you're just kind of getting involved in the game, you might not realize that the significance of these stocks that trade hundreds and hundreds of million shares. And yeah, I get it. MVIS was a 50-cent stock this morning, but go back to CAPR last week. I mean, Woo! You know, sorry for the Ric Flair impersonation, but I'm telling you, if you're the volume, the commission-free brokers, the volatility, if you are passionate about trading, if you can't wait to learn this stuff, I mean, that was me 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I was getting up at 5 a.m. I had a business with 20 employees and thousands of customers. I had business partners. I had real estate holdings. I had 2 toddlers. You know, anybody that had 2 toddlers, babies, knows how busy that keeps you. I was up at 5 a.m. to learn this stuff. And the volume and the volatility was nothing like what we see now. I almost feel like I have to take a moment of silence for the freaking 180 million shares traded on MVIS today. On basically no news. That's the wildest thing about MVIS. I mean, it's just rumor. Or, help me out. I have a request. Does anybody have a corroborating link? Something that proves that MVIS has a chip deal with, I think it was Microsoft in the Xbox. Somebody give me a link that proves that. Because I don't think it's out there. My point is, this stock traded 200 million shares, moved 230% on a freaking rumor. A rumor. So let me back up. What do we have with MVIS? It broke out at $1 a share. We love whole dollar, half dollar breaks. 52-week high was basically $1 a share. I mean, cut me some slack. I know back in November it went to 103. Okay, but remember, technical support and resistance, technical analysis is it is a science, or it is an art, not a science, okay? So bear with me there. But, so you're rounding. When you're doing support and resistance, you're rounding to a certain extent. So for all intents and purposes, $1 was the 52-week high. It was the whole dollar, half dollar cross that we love. It was a break of resistance, and it did it on ridiculous volume. And it did it, guess what? You know, midday, late day. Yeah, I tell you, if you're looking for consistency, focus on midday, late day, please. Now, I want to be clear. I hated this stock all day because it was moving on rumors. And, you know, all it takes is someone squashing the rumor and you get left holding the bag. So I know I'm kind of ranting and raving about how amazing MVIS was while I didn't like the news, but it just shows you. The point I'm trying to make is it's just amazing that a stock can move 230% on unsubstantiated rumors that maybe they have a chip in an Xbox. All right, let's get to the watch list. Sorry. Top red to green. Okay? And I'm doing the hand gestures. This thing. So, why is this a top red to green? We got a stock trading ridiculous volume at 52-week highs, breaks resistance, and closes at the exact high of the day. I mean, well, within 2 cents. So what we want to see tomorrow is that dip and then that reclaim of 150. And what would be great, what I would love to see would be some sort of like real news versus this rumor stuff. So, all right, ARCT was the main watch for real stocks on the watch list. And remember, I'm just going over the watch list from the weekend. It's right there in my Evernotes. ARCT, we were looking for a continued breakout and a possible red to green. Didn't really get it on ARCT. So like I mentioned, the watch list isn't going to be 100%. But I tell you what I want you to do on ARC, even though it did run this morning. Dang near $3. Well, ooh, geez. Well, ran $5 a share. But I don't see any good entries on ARCT. We didn't get the red to green we wanted. But I'll tell you this, set an alert at that 45.50 area. This breaks that. I think you definitely got a potential trade. It's funny how I in these wild markets I'm like there's a $5 move. This still just goes back to how wild it is. There's a $5 move on a 40-cent stock, and I'm like, oh, this thing didn't work. How lame. Only a $5 move out of the gate on a $40 stock. And I won't beat this to death, but I mean, I've been around, man. I got the gray hairs. I got the gray beard. I got the scars. Right there, I got scars. My fingers ripped up. My thumbs ripped. I got the scars to prove it, baby. But it's just we didn't see these kinds of moves. So anyway, I will move on. CODX, one of our favorite virus plays. And I can't type. Over the past few months. So let me read you the notes. One of the top 5 most mentioned stocks on this list the past few months, no doubt. Pretty much the standard virus PR watch style play. This loaded a whole new round of short sellers after a negative bias report midweek last week. Set alerts in the high 15s or the whole $0.50 area of 16. If it gets there, the squeeze is on. So another one that I would say technically, I mean, a nice gap up from the low 13s to the 15s, but not yet. Not yet. I mean, as much as I would like to sit here and be like, oh, CODX was amazing, we're looking for that high 15, $16 break. Now, beautiful day today. Gapped up, held VWAP all day. Did it have a PR this morning or not? Had a PR. Ooh. That's what we like to see, baby. You know, when we got stock that loaded up shorts last week for the 500th time. I mean, CODX has just buried shorts for weeks, literally months. I mean, think about how bad your life would be if you've been trying to pick a top in CODX. I mean, seriously, if you were trying to pick a top in CODX from January 23rd, when it was $1.28, and all it does is go up, and then it pulls back, and then rips back to 16, pulls back again, loads shorts again, pushes again today, and I mean, man, look at that 16 level. Keep an eye on 16, man. That's when the fireworks happen. Not saying you trade it, but if there's one thing you do tonight, set an alert on CODX at 16, just for learning purposes. Because I've got crazy high certainty especially after today, if that level holds up, bluey, when 16 comes. So, CAPR. Kind of a snoozer. Was an early red to green, but what was the plan? I was looking for a high volume move, and the volume completely went away. So if you've got the watch list, which you should, oh crap! I almost forgot something I want to tell you guys about. Latest podcast. Go to steadytrade.com. Latest podcast has a free book from Michael Martin. Okay? Number one, guy is ridiculously smart, amazing trader. I loved the podcast with him, man. It was funny. I had to. We recorded this one about a month or so ago, and I had to catch a flight. And they're out of 150 podcasts, I've only had to end one short a couple times. By far, the most frustrating podcast to end early because I had to catch a flight was the one with Michael Martin. I mean, we did an hour, but I was like, man, I had pages of questions. But nevertheless, he's given away his book. Go to the podcast, steadytrade.com, The Inner Voice of Trading. It's scroll down, read it. It's there. I wanted to make sure to tell you guys about that. AUY. It's a gold stock. It's working. I mean, these are slow movers. You're not going to double your money overnight in AUI, but it did break out again today, slowly, very slowly. But I mean, the reason I put these gold stocks on watch is they're very part-time trader friendly. They move slow, but what's great about that is you're most likely not going to get, I mean, something like AUI, you can at least walk away from, okay? I mean, if you're trading low float, 400% runners, you can't walk away. Still like AUI, yeah, I'm not bragging about it being up 0.8%, up 4% on the day, but, or I'm sorry, up 4 cents. 4 cents, not 4%. But that's why I throw these ideas in there. And the thing is, let's say this thing moves 3% tomorrow, 2% Wednesday, 3% Thursday, 2% Friday, and all of a sudden you got a low risk swing trade that you made, I didn't add up all the numbers, but say like 9 or 10% in a week. Check your 401k. That's what's funny when sometimes I'll get some flack. People will kind of chirp back at me about these slower movers, and I'm like, okay, you had a low risk setup, you made like 9 or 10% in a week. Have you looked at your 401k statement? Yeah. Yeah. Is your 401k up 9% this week? Or is it up 3% this year? Or is it up 2% in 2 years? So don't discount the value of the slower movers, especially if you're part-time. MDGS was wild Friday morning, but completely fell apart. But no entry. There was never an entry on MDGS. So you don't care about MDGS because it never went red to green. It never broke Friday's high. Never was an entry. So, okay, let's hit some Q&A. Woo! You guys are busy today. Why are stocks like MVIS and Mark considered junk and potential shorts in the future? My wand. So my wand, all penny stocks fail. Okay? My wand, I love that you're the first question of the night and it's a great question. The sooner you learn this, the better off you will be. Okay? No penny stock will ever accomplish anything. Okay? All right. Get your notepad, and this goes to everyone, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are. Write this down. No penny stock will ever accomplish anything. They will never hit a goal. They will never hit a milestone. They will never be profitable. They will all fail. paused for a reason because I wanted you to have time to write that down. Every single penny stock will screw it up. Okay? Penny stocks are like your uncle that's an alcoholic. He's been divorced 15 times. He's lost 15 jobs. Okay? Now you love him. Hey, nobody loves penny stocks more than me, baby. And when Uncle Harry shows up, he's the best guy. Oh man, Uncle Harry's here. Uncle Harry shows up. You know, oh man, Uncle Harry, it's been a while. But he's been divorced 15 times. He's been bankrupt 5. He's got 6 drunk drivings. He will screw it up. Penny stocks are Uncle Harry. So what you want to look for, why is MVIS and why are Mark such great potential shorts? Because once the story fades, once the volume fades, they all go back. They're all Uncle Harry going for his 10th divorce. All right? So now the reason I did the pause and I wanted you to write that down is the sooner you recognize this, you know that, okay, I'll day trade MVIS. You know, when MVIS breaks a whole dollar, half dollar of one on high volume into the afternoon, I'll day trade this thing. But I'm no bag holder. I know what MVIS is. I know what Mark is. I know I talked about CODX being incredible. CODX isn't gonna cure coronavirus. They're not gonna do anything. And the sooner you recognize that and you start looking at price, volume, key levels, support and resistance, and the psychology of the market, and you don't have the mindset of a bag holder, the sooner you recognize that, the better you're off. At some point, MVIS will be an incredible short. At some point, Mark will be. At some point, 90% of these runners will be. But not day one. Not day 2 if there's high volume, especially if it's breaking the high of day. It's going weak. It's going red to green. Or it's doing a VWAP hold, breaking into the afternoon highs. Phoenix says, hi. Hello, Carlos. Last week you mentioned the 5-minute candle theory. Can you explain more about that? You know, it's kind of a big question. You know, I've done a ton of webinars on the 5-minute candle theory. We talk about it every day in Stocks to Trade Pro. Probably the best thing I would tell you to do is just check out Stocks to Trade Pro. G. Markovic, it's a good question, but I got like 7 minutes left. And it's just, you know, it's a big question. So some of you guys talking about flow rotation on MVIS. I agree. I can't argue. You know, and I admit I'm eating crow. I'm eating crow on MVIS. You know, when the flow rotation is there, it doesn't really matter if it's just rumors. When the flow rotation is there. Some things run off straight momentum. F the news, says O Nitro. O Nitro, I'm agreeing with you. And O Nitro, you know, so O Nitro says some things just run off straight momentum. F the news, he says. And your confirmation is the volume. I can't argue with you there, O Nitro. So. Yeah, and so a lot of you guys talking about airline stocks. And I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, I got to run. My son is calling me. He's out fishing right now. He's calling me. So, airlines. I will leave you with this. Number one, go to steadytrade.com. Get the free book. I'm doing Instagram Live every day. Go to instagram.com/stocks2trade. And the biggest thing I can tell you on the airlines, the cruise lines, etc., is, I mean, when Warren Buffett's selling, do you want to be buying? Okay. And listen, we trade way different than what Warren does. But, there's some things I agree and disagree with Warren on. But the biggest thing I want to say is nobody works harder. Nobody's been in the game longer. And if you think you're going to dip buying, if you're dip buying an airline, you're buying shares from Warren Buffett. So think about that. I mean, not directly, but this is a metaphor. Metaphor is not right, but you know what I mean. Anyway, if you're buying airlines right now, you're buying shares from the fourth richest man on the planet. So if you're trying to buy cruise lines, airlines, any of that stuff, just remember Warren Buffett, Uncle Warren, is selling you those shares. If he believed in them, would he be selling you those shares or would he be buying them? That's the biggest point. A lot of you are talking about the airlines and cruise line. So, all right, guys, great stuff tonight. As always, please go to steadytrade.com. Please get Michael Martin's free book. Please sign up for the watch list. Please be on Instagram Live every single day at 8:30 Eastern. And please have a great night. I wish you the best, and we'll see you next time. And I missed a boatload of questions. I'm telling you. The biggest struggle with these, and I love doing these, okay? And I try and answer every question, and I appreciate each and every question. The biggest struggle is trying to do commentary to really break things down and still get to the questions. But I'll tell you this. If I missed your question, if I didn't get to it, I already said it, but Instagram Live every morning at 8:30, and I'll be back here next Monday night at 8. So I'm not skipping questions. I'm not ignoring you. It's just I'm trying to give as much value as I can. Have a great night, and we'll see you all next time.